A very good morning. You're watching Today in Parliament with me, Aishwarya Kapoor, and these are this morning Parliament headlines. Discussion on reported scams in public sector banks is slated in Rajya Sabha. Short duration discussion slated in the upper house. Lok Sabha to debate banking irregularities under rule that does not entail voting. Three bills in the Rajya Sabha today: Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill, State Banks Repeal and Amendment Bill, and Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill to be moved. Discussion in the upper house on the working of a drinking water and sanitation ministry today. AIADMK's A. Navneet Krishnan to initiate the discussion. And Finance Minister Arun Jaitley to move the Finance Bill 2018 in the Lok Sabha. Discussion and voting slated for demands for grants of Ministries of Railways, Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare and Social Justice and Empowerment. After disruptions in both houses of Parliament continued for the 7th day on Tuesday due to multiple issues including PNB fraud case, both houses of Parliament are set to discuss banking irregularities today. In the Rajya Sabha today, a short duration discussion is slated on reported scams in some public sector banks and the alleged failure of the banking regulators to check them. Harivansh, Rupa Ganguly and R.K. Sinha will initiate the discussion in the upper house. The issue has been on the list of business of the Rajya Sabha since Wednesday last week. And in the Lok Sabha as well, the discussion is slated to be raised by N.K. Premchandran of the Revolutionary Socialist Party and K.C. Venugopal of the Congress Party. The leaders will raise the issue of alleged systemic irregularities in the sector over the years and its impact on the Indian economy. The discussion will be held under Rule 193 that does not entail voting. The issue has been on the business of the lower house since Tuesday last week, but no discussion has been possible due to repeated disruptions over multiple issues. All right, my colleague Vineet Dikshit is now joining us live from Parliament. A very good morning, Vineet. Again, the same question that I've been asking you almost every day since disruptions are continuing every day. What are the chances of a discussion on banking irregularities taking place in both houses today? Well, yesterday the opposition party members met and they said that they will continue to raise issues of public importance in Parliament. But does that mean this stalemate is going to continue?
Well, that stalemate, to break that stalemate, to break that logjam, no news has yet come that there is likely to be a smooth functioning of the House. In fact, we are yet to hear that good news. The bad news still continues, actually. 7 days have been washed away. Today is the 8th day when the Parliament sat again for the second part of the budget session beginning from 5th of April. We were supposed to have 23 sittings. As I said, 7 have been washed away. Today is the 8th day, only just 15 days left for the clearing of budget. Today, we were supposed to clear the budget in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha simultaneously.
Yes.
The 17th was the date when both the houses were supposed to debate and clear the finance bill, but it is unlikely to happen in a couple of days. It might extend, this agenda might extend to the next week if the House is allowed to function smoothly. In fact, if the House is not working, the other part of the House is working very smoothly, known as the mini parliaments, the standing committees. Yesterday we saw, Aishwarya, as many as 38 standing committee reports were tabled from 11 different standing committees. They work very quietly. They are working still now. The 3 standing committees are meeting from morning till evening today itself. A Railway Convention Committee is meeting right now. Joint Government Assurance Committee is meeting. SC/ST Welfare Committee is scheduled to meet later in the day after lunch. These standing committees, they have a representation of 21 MPs from Lok Sabha and 11 from Rajya Sabha. And they do debate threadbare the grants. Right now the grants for budget are discussed, and wherein the members of the Parliament have liberty to ask questions, see the files from the officials of the concerned ministry. Those committees are working very quietly and very efficiently. As I said, 11 standing committee reports 11 standing committees presented 38 reports yesterday. That prompted yesterday chairman to acknowledge these standing committee workings. Now, that is happening, but the House is not working. Aishwarya?
Absolutely. So we have to wait and watch whether the House is able to function today as well or not. Thank you so much, Vineet, for all those updates there from Parliament. Now, speaking about the legislative business in the upper house, and Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will move the State Bank's Repeal and Amendment Bill 2017 in the Rajya Sabha today. Now, this bill seeks to repeal the State Bank of India's Subsidiary Banks Act 1959, the State Bank of Hyderabad Act 1956 and amend the State Bank of India Act 1955. It also aims to make a rational use of the resources made available by the merger of these banks, leading to a reduction in costs and in the increase in bank profits. The Lok Sabha has already passed this bill. Also in the Rajya Sabha today, Jitendra Singh will move the Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill 2013. Now, this bill seeks to amend the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. The bill makes specific provisions related to giving a bribe to a public servant and giving a bribe by a commercial organization. The bill modifies the definitions and penalties for offences related to taking a bribe, being a habitual offender and abetting an offence. Powers and the procedures for the attachment and forfeiture of the property of the public servants who have been accused of corruption have also been introduced in the bill. The Act requires prior sanctions to prosecute serving public officials, and the bill extends this protection to former officials as well. Also, Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari will move the Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill 2017 in the upper house. This bill amends the Motor Vehicles Act 1988 to address issues such as the third-party insurance, regulation of taxi aggregators and road safety. This bill is important due to radical changes in the law, which is as old as 30 years. It proposes high penalties for various traffic offences, 3-year jail for the parents of minors driving, causing fatal accidents, and also a 10-fold increase in the compensation for the families of accident victims. For the deaths in hit-and-run cases, the bill proposes for the government to provide a compensation of 2 lakh rupees or more to the victim's family. Currently, this amount is just 25,000 rupees. The minimum fine for drunk driving has also been increased from 2,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees in this bill. Also in the upper house today, AIADMK's MP A. Navneet Krishnan will initiate a discussion on the working of the Drinking Water and Sanitation Ministry today. The members will put forth their views on the functioning of the ministry during the debate, and at the end of the debate, Union Minister Uma Bharti will give a reply. Also in the Rajya Sabha today, obituary reference will be made to the passing away of former member VPM Sami. In the Rajya Sabha, reports of a department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Commerce will be tabled. Members Naresh Gujral, Joy Abraham and Rupa Ganguly will present 2 reports on the demands for grants of Ministry of Commerce and Industry today. And the reports of department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Personnel, Public Grievances, Law and Justice will also be tabled by Bhupendra Yadav, Majid Memon and Vivek Tankha. On to the business in the Lok Sabha today, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will move the Finance Bill 2018. This bill will give effect to the financial proposals of the central government for the financial year 2018-19. And apart from this, Arun Jaitley will also move the Appropriation Number 2 Bill 2018 to authorize the payment and appropriation of certain sums from and out of the Consolidated Fund of India for the services of the financial year 2018-19. He will also move the Appropriation Number 3 Bill to authorize the payment and appropriation of certain further sums from and out of the Consolidated Fund of India for the services of the financial year 2017-18. Also in the Lok Sabha today, there will be discussion and voting on the demands for grants under the control of the Ministry of Railways for 2018-19. Discussion and voting will also be held on the demands for grants under the control of the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare for 2018-19. And there will also be a discussion and voting on the demands for grants under the control of the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment for the year 2018-19. And the following ministers will lay papers in the Rajya Sabha today. Dharmendra Pradhan for the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Santosh Kumar Gangwar for the Ministry of Labour and Employment. Giriraj Singh for the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. And C.R. Chaudhary for the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And that's it in this edition of Today in Parliament. Do stay tuned. The proceedings of the Upper House are going to begin in a while. Thanks for watching.